Hello everyone, welcome back to Spar and Brawl. I hope you're having a decent day. As always, I'm joined by my co-host Sam. We're back with a new episode of the Four Corners of Geopolitics. So you can find timestamps down below, and please like and consider subscribing if you've been watching us for a while. So now that we have this new setup, I'm just going to show you quickly what we have. We're going to start off with this pretty funny video about what to do in case you've been your city has been nuked or your country has been nuked. We're going
Your
to talk
city, I'm guessing.
yeah. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about John Bolton, talking about coups. Jordan Peterson probably outdid himself, had the weirdest video he possibly could. He's like 20 years or so behind the not accurate narrative of Muslim infighting. So, not that it was like accurate back then, but like that's what he's talking about. We'll get into that.
This was, by the way, this was from the company. He was broadcasting from the company retreat. That
Oh,
is the evil corp that him and all the other dark professors are member. He has that evil
really?
lair. Yeah, they have that evil lair we saw, and they have a company cottage where they all go there. It's him,
No
Lex
way.
Luthor goes there. Yeah, like Jeff Bezos, all of them.
But are you being serious? Is this the one like he goes with
No,
Sam
no,
Harris
man.
and
I don't
oh
know.
I
I
thought
have no.
maybe
Lex Luthor goes there.
no, but I thought with
Yeah.
Sam Harris and stuff,
They have a company cottage. That it's very much would be like them to do that. But
Possible. Then
yeah.
we got Emmanuel Macron and Uber. This is hilarious. Chris Cuomo. These are all short stories until here, by the way. Chris Cuomo in Ukraine. Then, okay, our first relatively bigger story about US-Saudi relations, Biden going to the Middle East, talk about Sri Lanka, and
It,
this good-looking gentleman is possibly going to be the next
hey
prime
man,
minister of the UK.
finally brown people making it.
And yeah, I think the other pictures are related to that. So yeah, please like and subscribe. And let's get started with this video. So we can also play a bit of it now. I don't know if it's
No, no,
worth
not
it.
now. Don't play any.
Yeah, though this is not
Yeah,
worth it, but pretty much it's the rising video. And of course, Kim made a radar on it. But there's a
so
funny
let's see what's
reaction
no,
that
no, no.
we'll play some
Go
in a
back.
bit.
No, go back to the bit where there was New York City, like this is what actual officials decided to spend money on. We hire a company to do one of the weirdest special effect design. Like it's not bad. It's almost like a stylistically,
No,
like
I
it's a
mean
stylistic
here
choice,
I'll play some of it on mute. It's pretty horrible.
Yeah,
No man.
I believe it was filmed in Meta, the Facebook
Yeah,
thing. Yeah, I don't know where it was filmed, but it's the weirdest. Like they put a realistic face on it. Oh my god!
I mean,
Oh
this
my
is
god!
this is
This the most unnerving.
2006 graphics,
No
2005
man, come
graphics.
on. This is like 1999. I think Final Fantasy from
Eh,
Jesus
no,
Christ, this is
this is
bad.
2005
I
for.
swear, wasn't there like 2003 Final Fantasy movie that was like
Oh
this
yeah,
is
I
so
was more
weird.
thinking of video games because it looks so
All
much
right.
like a video game. I'm thinking, yeah, you're right. You're right. No, movies,
It's
of course. No,
no, no.
movies,
It
they've
was
been
like
doing
no,
better
no,
than
no.
this since God knows
Like
when.
Final Fantasy did an animation movie that was
Mm.
like they were trying to be super realistic, awful apparently, like movie from what I remember. But it was yeah, but this is really bad. This was the creepiest thing about the whole video. Like this weird like lady whose head is one lady and clearly the body is somebody else, and then or a possible sim. But so they
Yeah,
actually
Civ.
decided to guys this week what are we gonna like we have a what is the working week in US, is it 40 or 44, I don't know.
40. Yeah.
40, yeah, 40 hours a week. We're gonna spend what, like 15 hours of it on this shit, and or whatever budget they
Yeah.
allocated to
In
this
fact, what's
to
nothing?
inform
Five
you.
bucks.
Yeah, to be on Canva free version you could do it, but yeah, you to do this to inform the citizens that if there is a nuclear bomb, and I'm not sure quite sure how you get it, like how you know there's a like nuclear bomb, like in the situation they describe, unless you like you, I really don't. Who is this video for? I really don't get it, because from what I understand, nuclear bombs like destroy anything Like, unless you're
Yeah.
already in the bunker.
Yeah.
I don't know what is this
Or I
gonna
mean, I
help
guess
exactly.
unless you're really like, like the bomb happened on the East Coast and you're like in the middle of the
On the
states.
edge of
Yeah.
the.
I mean, how far does it go? Like, let's say,
Shall we
I'm trying to think like,
live
let's,
Google?
yeah, I don't even know if that will give us yeah. I mean, like, let's say if you bomb, I'm trying to think of a city, like a country where we can imagine. Yeah. If you bomb New York,
Yes.
will it take over all of, like, let's say at least like a third of the US on the east? Do you think they'll feel it all? Or, will it be like New
No,
York, like
I
part
think.
of New
I
York
mean,
State?
I I obviously it would depend on the bomb, because
Yeah.
with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we know the radius of the damage wasn't that big. I suppose wasn't
Mhm.
as big as a state, But the new ones I hear are far more powerful.
Yeah.
So
But
I
listen, I
have no
mean,
idea.
it wasn't the
Yeah,
worst waste of
unless
money
look,
by the government.
unless my no, I think it is. My point is that unless you hear about a nuclear bomb being
Yeah.
dropped the next day on TV, and it's like on some other side of the planet, it's not really like,
Yeah.
can't really do anything about it,
No,
but
I think the
but
only scenario really works is that if it's really far away and then pretty much you think that you don't know if it's a nuclear bomb, but you think that, there's like an earthquake or something. And then you just go under, your desk if you're at a school. So if like a glass breaks, you're okay. But you would have to be like pretty much on the other side of the world.
yeah.
But
But no, but listen to this though. Maybe that puts us. Maybe we are a bit stupid. But this is about the
probably.
historical. It's from atomicarchives.com. Atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Nearly everything was heavily damaged up to
Mhm.
the radius of 3 miles from the blast.
That's it?
And 3 miles. Yeah. And beyond this distance, damage, although comparatively light, extended for several more miles. Glass was broken up to 12 miles. So I
Wow.
guess within that 12 miles, yeah.
That's nothing. I'm guessing, so 12 miles is
Well,
24
I mean, look,
kilometers.
like the
Yeah.
greatest, chemical weapon, I guess, or, whatever. But yeah,
But no, those
I,
were those. Now they probably have them that are probably like, three or
yeah,
four
but
times
let's
the
say it's,
size.
they
Mhm.
say like it's 100 times more powerful.
Yeah.
100 times. Oh, that's
Oh,
300 miles. No, that
100 times more
I don't know.
powerful now.
I don't know. Maybe
Wow.
20 times more
Yeah.
powerful. Maybe I'm exaggerating. I
Yeah.
think I don't. After all this, I'm okay. Maybe we should have. Yeah, maybe we should. Okay, play the video. I need to know now.
You need the kit.
I'm
Look, it's
caring
right
about
here.
this.
You get inside fast. You get into building, move away from windows, shut
Oh,
doors, go to the
I
middle
love
of the building, get clean immediately, remove
immediately.
clothing and shower with soap. And then Kim
Or
also adds
shampoo.
her,
Or
yeah,
shampoo.
follow the media, but Kim also adds her own stuff.
Wait. No,
It's
no. We
so
get to
funny.
Kim. We get to Kim. Well, I love very. She's like got a basement, and I love, and then continues to go to the basement and stuff. As if, like, if you don't have a basement, man, come on, you're not gonna
Yeah.
survive the war. Just
That's
go.
really weird that in a video about New York, the basement took such a prominent role, because
Yeah,
even
yeah.
rich people might not have a basement, because a basement typically is a house. So even if you have a really nice apartment,
They have shared base, like not.
yeah,
You know
unless,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
something like that.
yeah. So,
Yeah. But for
yeah,
New York,
exactly.
but somewhere else, in a more rural area, even, there's a chance that the vast majority of the population has a basement. But for New York, it's just
Yeah,
weird that
that's true.
it
Yeah.
was like this. They're like, okay, if
You're
you
in.
live in New
Oh
York,
my
first go somewhere else.
God. First thing you do, you relocate to a different place 2 years ago.
And you start stocking up on food,
Well,
including
man,
pickled
uh,
eggs. There was
I'm
nothing about food. Very little about food. They brought up water. They should have had me there. I'll be like, okay, guys, first
pickled
aid
eggs.
kit, everything, throw away.
Jesus.
How
I mean,
many
I don't know
cans of
what this.
beans do you have?
I don't know what this pickled egg. I don't see. I've been. I need to go rewatch some apocalypse movies. I don't recall it being as big of a. Anyway.
Listen, pickled egg is everything.
But then as if New York City has not done enough to, make you worried about New York. And then I thought Kim is gonna be like, oh my God, what is this? I thought she's gonna be talking about the Ukraine and escalation of war, which she did at the end. But then it started getting, I started the video scared, but it just, I got it. Now I'm just terrified basically because this video was not good in this situation. This video is not a good video right now. What this video actually needs to tell you is it's much worse. You need much more stuff. This video did not talk about the food, did not talk about how you need a special stair that leads to a special bunker that's beneath the basement. And then for your pets, you need a special vet to come with you. You hire a vet to live with you. What is hair? I mean, she had thought about this since she was like 10. This was not a radar that she came up with this week. She's been like fantasizing about like zombie apocalypse for like, I bet she's a big fan of Walking Dead.
I've come to two recent conclusions. Theories? One is she had way too much free time during her honeymoon, because I feel like she came back with like radars already in her head, like points of arguments already ready to go. So those 2 weeks, I guess she had a lot of time to think. The second one is based on the previous video. We found out that Kim has been, indoctrinated since a very young age. When at the age of 11, she proposed environmental legislation. Sorry, proposed. That was just the funniest thing. We played the clip in our last video of Progressive World. I'm surprised more people didn't react to it. It was too funny.
She was at age 3, standing next to Bernie. Like,
She had the first draft done at the age of 6. Then it was pretty much, government issues,
but it was
bureaucracy.
A disappointment, The first draft was a disappointment. You want to present that to the Congress at age 6?
So they renewed her term, gave her another 4 years, and some colored pencils and 2 Kinder bars to finish it up. She refused to eat the Kinder bars because of Kinder's anti-environmental practices. But
that's a good theory.
Kim was funny. I mean, this video is 5 minutes of her giving tips. But then we have to look at Brianna's reaction as she's finishing her monologue. So we shall get there.
But before that, though, I must say I'm just like Kim since I've been 10. I've fantasized about like apocalypse and having a bunker. I can't wait till I have a bunker. Like, and then I agree with all her advice, by the way. Like, except the pet ones. I don't know what's going on with the pets.
Well, what did she say about the pet? I missed it.
You might want to get some pet food. And pets, it's
now
not
that's the easiest. 1 pack of dry food will last forever.
No, yes, and they can eat human food. Secondly, like if
sometimes, but
there's a nuclear war. Oh my God, this is not cat food.
But no,
my dog doesn't like this type of. And then I love how nobody talks about check your neighbors, but check your pets. Like your pets are neighbors. Fuck them.
Listen, neighbors at that point they're your enemy. You don't know, they might be Russians.
That's the thing. Yeah, exactly. I can't wait. I really want a bunker though. I really want a bunker just for in case of anything, like panic room type thing. I love it. With a gun or if you can have remote controlled guns, that would be. Sorry. Yeah, anyway.
But let's listen towards the end and just look at Brianna's reaction. I don't even know why it didn't require that much eye movement as we should.
Let me see. I don't know.
Yeah. Watch it. Oh, sorry. Here we go.
Are we really willing to be nuked for Ukraine? Because apparently our government leaders think it's a possibility. And despite the risk, they aren't backing down. Instead, they're preparing us for the worst. And honestly, I think we should prepare for the worst.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I've given you much of this information on what you need in your emergency kit. Because quite frankly, I have no faith in our government leaders to attack.
Kim didn't say anything that weird for that to happen. Did something else happen?
I think something went on off his screen or something because she was like suddenly.
Should be a wake-up call to all of our politicians, but mostly to we the people who should stop and say, wait a minute, did we sign up for this? Are we really willing to be nuked for Ukraine? because apparently our government leaders think it's a possibility. And despite the risk, they aren't backing down. Instead, they're preparing us for the worst. And honestly, I think we should prepare for the worst, which is why I've given you much of this information on what you need in your emergency kit, because quite frankly,
you see,
I have no faith in our government leaders to stop escalating and provoking wars, particularly with Russia. So I don't know.
Grim, Kim.
I'm not the one that did it. New York City did it. They're the ones who came out with this PSA to begin with. And that should make us all stop and question a little bit. Like, they really think this is a possibility. I mean, it's crazy, but this is where we're at.
They don't.
Remember the guidance from the Cold War?
Brianna was about to go, but...
By the way, I think, to be honest, again, though, like, I mean, Kim, I think the main substance, I completely agree with her. But then Kim and Ria started talking about this whole power, like who has basements anyway, as we just discussed. Only the rich have basements. And again, it's a goddamn nuclear. I think Robbie's reaction was the correct reaction, kind of like, this is just like the whole under the table back in 50s.
I mean,
like,
it's not just like it is that.
Well, it's a more sophisticated. You go under the ground.
No, but yeah, that's for schools. I think this here they were saying it at home, so I'm pretty sure. Good point. Pretty sure they grabbed the same script.
Yeah, it's
the same like, lady too. They're like, let's revive the same lady through a hologram and do it through this.
That's why she looks.
I think so. I think this lady was alive in the 70s. They wanted to really recreate it, or
she was the first person to sign over her soul to the United States government, I suppose. But it was such. I mean, look, man. But if I'm even on the 12-mile radius of a nuclear bomb, I rather it's kind of like an earthquake, man. I don't want to come back from that. That's like I rather die. Like fuck that. Starting again at this age.
I mean, it depends if something really happens to you or not. I mean, you might,
No, my wealth. That's what.
But that's in the
like
bank.
And
the house is insured. Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
No. If I lose a leg and my house is insured and all that, sure, that's okay. Yeah, I stay alive. But if I lose 2 legs and the house is that's tough. That's you know what I mean. Like it's a bit. But are houses all insured? Is that legally? Is that like I don't have a house? I don't. Is that?
I don't know. Maybe when you buy a house, I don't know.
Is that the legal thing? I hope it is. You've given me a couple of ideas for fraud now.
All right,
guys in Iran, we need to.
This was supposed to be a short story. Let's move on to the next one. So everyone and their mother has, of course, heard about it. But former senior U.S. official John Bolton admits to planning attempted foreign coups. Nobody even asked him, and I love the follow-up question. And then I also have this funny tweet I can read. It goes with it.
I would like to say, U.S. official John Bolton admits to planning attempted foreign coups, which is the most, by the way, it's the most charitable way to put it. In fact, it should be U.S. official John Bolton, admits, or more likely. So what's the word?
No, he didn't admit it. He
he slips. It slips out, or no, kind of fake. What is the fake boast? Fake humble or whatever. Humble brags. Humble brags about failed coup attempts and his complete idiots. Like this is like, I mean, I'm gonna talk.
His Venezuela narrative was just so bullshit. I mean, about the coup, and then he also made it seem like because Russia attacked Ukraine, now Venezuela is like seen the true side of Russia and they want to become closer to America. Like he had like the little narrative slipped in there. Did you catch it? It was too funny.
No, I didn't even pay attention.
I mean, man, honestly,
the amount unbelievable to me is that, look, man, if George H.W. Bush comes here and says that, like, we may have done coups, fair enough. This when was the last successful coup America did in South America? When was it? Like they tried coupping Chavez like 4 times, they failed. They tried coupping Maduro. They ended up doing as some call it, Bay of the Piglets with like 6 guys from Florida going with a speedboat. How can you be so shit at being evil and
Man,
still brag about it? Like, you're not Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
You're not even worthy of being a janitor in the Luth Corp or something. It's
No,
funny.
so absolutely ridiculous and stupid. And I mean, I rarely listen to officials like, interviews and all this, but literally like the word like misinformation should have like been invented. Like, I mean, the amount of like bullshit, like garbage takes he had in like 5 minutes were they were just surprising, Every now and then you're just a bit surprised just how much garbage, how stupid his narrative was.
When a fast food restaurant's mascot comes to life, this is what you expect. This is not a man who was born through normal, human, like a uterus or whatever. He was developed in a lab by KFC. And like, again, like if you're so, like, I would not bring up the fact that, for example, I have done, if, for example, let's say I don't know how to drive, right? For example, and let's say that there has been 6 different times that I have taken classes with like 6 different people, each for like 20 hours, right? I would not bring that up. I would say I have never taken classes. I would not bring that up. And that's definitely not true.
I know. But there are some idiots who kind of believe him. Like this guy, David Froome. David Froome. I don't know what part. David Froome.
He's your compatriot, by the way.
The bright red light indicates the camera and microphone are on, and the former U.S. National Security Advisor should measure their words and avoid cynical jokes. So he thought that he was making a joke.
Cynical jokes? No, he's cynical jokes that give aid to, he says, like give aid to. David Froome needs to shut the fuck up. He needs to shove a pen up his ass, frankly. And again, I'm trying, every week I say I'm not going to say the F word as much. And then you bring up David Froome, one of the biggest dicks and douches in the whole world. Like,
and he thinks he's so cute
the
here.
bright red light indicates a camera and microphone are go back to
measure and
I mean, this is one I don't understand, by the way. Americans are always like there's certain type of right-wing Americans are always like, go back to your country. Why tell him to go back to his country? This piece of he wrote the famous okay.
Was your axis of Max Blumenthal? Was your acts of evil speech that inspired Bolton's troika at tyranny also a joke?
Frankly, yeah. I mean, I mean, Boton from is worst in a way because Boton is just so transparent. From is one of these fucking lizards that shapeshifts. Oh God, I hate it. But again, I don't understand. Like you said, some people believe them. Believe them about what?
No, that's what I meant. Like the joke that I meant, like the joke thing. Yeah.
Oh, you got so angry.
No.
About what joke?
About that, some people thought like he was joking and stuff. I'm just saying, not everybody had the same reaction as us. Idiots like him.
Joke. Oh, he was joking as in like he was not telling the truth.
I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to say.
Well, they think he's joking, but at the same time, he's like hinting at the truth, right? But again, the truth is that I'm a failure. I've spent like 40 years since like Ford. I've been within the National Security Administration. I have attempted to remove like half of South American leaders. I have failed every time. like such a ridiculous like bragging about your like failed courses.
But okay, Sam. Now we have reached truly the weirdest thing out there. Should we play a couple of minutes of it? Like play a minute or so, or
it was even okay. Yeah, play. Yeah.
Do you want to give a little background information?
Well, I don't know what background information I can give, but that Jordan Peterson apparently wanted to talk to the Muslim world, whatever that is. So, or Muslims, whoever they are. So he decided to, record the YouTube video. Most normal people would call a friend they have. Anyway, Go ahead.
And I mean, it's just so outdated too. I was like, wait, is this 2004? Like the stuff that he's saying,
Oh,
just...
the type of liberal argument. He's a modern conservative. So, of course, he's like 20 years ago of liberals, basically. That's what.
I mean, it's Sam Cedar, but like, at least he was saying that 20 years. Not Sam Cedar, Sam Harris. Sorry, Sam Harris. At least he was saying that 20 years ago, Sam Harris.
Sam Cedar is actually at his level, but Sam Harris, with all the criticism I've always had of Sam Harris, I used to say Sam Harris dragged Christopher Hitchens' name through the mud slightly, because frankly, I don't think he really knows much about social sciences.
Oh, yeah, for
neuroscience, and he sadly insists on talking about shit he doesn't know about. But Sam Harris understands science and understands, like, what is, like, he can tell the difference between, for example, a fairy tale and a academic paper. He can differentiate between that. This guy,
Peterson,
he's just, no, this is he's a carnival barker.
I mean, this was the stupidest thing.
Barker.
Yeah, this is a little incy bit.
Formed by many
I'll fast forward
sources and also observed online, not least because of my discussions with a variety of Muslim thinkers, supporters, and critics, that I have developed an audience in the Muslim world.
Message.
I would first like to say that I could not be more pleased or honored that such is the case.
Was it message or messages? I just want to...
Message.
Oh, it's just one. Thank God.
It has been so heartening to see that my biblical lectures, for example, attracted a large Muslim audience, and that the comments from the Muslim watchers and listeners to my YouTube channel and podcast have been so extraordinarily positive. And all this is lovely to see in the aftermath of the extraordinary Abraham Accords, which have laid out the possibility for peace between all the people of the book in an unprecedented manner. And I have something to say as an extension of all of this.
Okay.
Please forgive my presumption, if you would.
What?
It is time for those of you in the Muslim world to stop fighting among yourselves, you Shiites and Sunnis.
You Shiites.
No, first, my presumption, if you would, this is like, when you're trying to, like, no offense meant, but I think your shoes are bad. Yeah. But this was like the most disingenuous and most, please forgive my presumptions, if you would. What are you doing? And then you Shiites, you blacks and you whites, stop fighting in America.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you blacks and browns, you blacks and Latinos.
No, I mean, even.
And also time to stop regarding the Christians, and even more specifically, the Jews, as your enemies.
The Jews.
Why? Not least because you have the enemy located in the wrong place. First, the best place to find Satan, let's say, is within. If you think the true enemy is in someone else's heart, then you haven't thought nearly long tradition that unites the wisdom of the past, the sexual front, on the familial.
I want to get the part where he tells you to, like, fight.
I missed the whole sexual front thing.
But wait, he has this one part that's so funny. Wait a second.
Individual carriers of the woke we must take the idea that the Satan of Cain that attracts and drives who could still see the light. Muslims, reach across the sectarian divide. Shiites, find a Sunni pen pal. Communicate with someone on the other side. Sunnis, do the same.
Wait, it's like,
and then, maybe...
For a second, I thought it's like the Berlin Wall. He's like, communicate with the other side, send little notes. Man,
reach out tentatively to a Christian, or even, heaven forbid, a Jew. Because perhaps it is time.
He keeps on doing that. He thinks like he's like so cutting edge, with like the Jewish.
The Jews. Yeah. I don't know, Muslims. I don't know if you believe this. I've met a Jew and they do not have horns. What do you think Muslims?
I just want to say two things, though.
Jesus Christ.
Two things. One is, I mean, I was shocked when I went on his channel that even for this crappy video, every comment, you're the best. You're the best. Yeah. I mean, on other channels, like people love the person, but I feel like, you know, every now and then if something goes wrong, they won't be supported. Not that he went wrong, but something is so shitty. Let's say. So I mean,
this is a cult, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was gonna talk about this more tomorrow, but I was thinking maybe let's watch the whole video because I know we're gonna get comments that you don't like your nitty-picky.
But we have a problem with. I mean, the whole message is childish, but the whole thing is childish. It makes it no. I mean, what is it? 6 minutes. Come on, it's 7 minutes. You know,
I love that there's two other parts that I really love.
Yeah, but he brings politics from a macro level to the micro individual level, making it seem like it's people's fault. I mean, it's like
but there's that part where this is right after the pen pal thing. Let's just play that
from here.
But I'll come back to your point about the audience, like how come his audience thing later.
And another point that I wanted to make is that
the pen pal isn't me.
I've heard people say that he's an expert in like authoritarian politics and like these kind of things. I'm like, where did you get that?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, at least fine. Say, you know, he's an expert in psychology and all this, and of course he is in many ways. I mean, he literally has the paper to back it.
I'm becoming quickly doubtful of everything increasing with his videos. Every video he puts out. But yes, technically you're right.
Yeah, but fine. Let's watch the remaining.
Yeah, so first of all, let's be clear. He just suggested Sunnis and Shias like they need to find a pal from each other's community. Which, by the way, who has a PayPal in this day? And anyway, who's writing letters? Even metaphorically, you go join a fucking chat room. You don't. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. But then things get better.
For those who purport to be followers of God, to act like it, and to be convincing in those actions, even to those whose premature cynicism and skepticism have driven them into the towers of Babel, constructed by the avatars of the resentful intellect. Is there someone in the Muslim world willing to build an electronic system to bring people from the Sunni and Shiite community together? A place where people of goodwill could reach electronically across the divide, person to person, and to formulate the kinds of personal, trusting friendships upon which a lasting peace truly...
Okay, no. Listen, this video was recorded 20, 30 years ago because he doesn't know about cell phones yet.
I know.
This was recorded 30 years ago. No, it's an old video. Okay,
300 years ago. Camille, there is these new things. Phones. You go, you do have, I called somebody the other week. He was of Sunni faith. Can you believe it? Motherfucker, what do you think? Yeah, we had Telegram before fucking Telegraph, whatever the fucking system is. We had it before many parts of America. This, I don't know what the fuck is he talking. I know what the fuck, by the way, he's talking about a specific website. Probably one of these Muslim thinkers that he was talking about is now telling him that I'm building a website, an app that, you know, we're going to put the right thinkers from the Shia community together with the right thinkers from Sunni, and hopefully we can add Christians and even Jews. Yes, even Jews somehow to this app, and they can exchange ideas, and through that we can elevate that. Go fuck yourselves. I mean, it is Jesus Christ. We can use email. We have WhatsApp groups. We also have Twitter. Not that I'm a Muslim anyway. I'm not even a Muslim, and I'm offended for.
Well, I mean, in his eyes, you are.
Might be founded.
No.
A place where Jews and Christians.
I mean, everybody in that region, he assumes everybody to be.
Yeah, it seems to be
it's like, but it's like as if, you know, you're going to talk to, I don't know, like imagine like France and Germany are in war and you're like, dear Christians, and you just like address them as Christians. That would make it seem like you just think everybody in France and Germany are like, you know, devoted Christians.
But that's why I kind of thought maybe you should play it for me. He talks about people like me and maybe you, I don't know. But he says, there are those among you whose heart has been turned black by cynicism. Those who you may think are beyond reproach, those who have done such terrible, they have blasphemed and apostatized and but they are not beyond help. Even like this is him being fucking, this is him like virtuous. And, oh my God, Camille, there's still hope for us. We can still save. If only we can find Jesus or Muhammad in this case.
On the people of the book. But no, sorry, Jordan, it's too late. Let's just finish the last minute, I guess.
Willing and eager to open communication with their Muslim brothers might do just that. There's a task for someone looking for a purpose, and it's an open invitation to do just that. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, get in touch with me. You'll figure out how to do it, and I'll publicize it.
Wow.
Oh my God, no, thank you.
All my Muslim listeners, watchers, and readers, for your kind attention and patience. I wish you well as you strive to become the light in the world that your faith truly demands.
Matt, I know we're doing like geopolitics.
Your faith truly demands. He knows the Muslim faith better.
Let's see if we can unite as people of the book and negotiate our way toward the paradise that we might truly and jointly attain.
Hold on, I just have a question for you. I know that we're doing Four Corners of Geopolitics, and I should have some understanding, but has something happened in the Middle East past few days that I'm not aware? Have Iran and Saudi Arabia or gone to war or something? Because this last 30 seconds worried me.
Man, no, it's because Joe Biden is going there to expand the Abraham record. So
he learned about the Middle East.
he's expanding. But he's such a, by the way, this half of the people that whenever he's talking about the Judeo-Christian tradition and shitty things like that, half of the, I don't know what he thinks the Crusades was about. It certainly wasn't about achieving reaching a joint heaven that we can, Muslims and Christians and Jews are all like, I don't know what to say, but I'm gonna save most of this for tomorrow, but because we thought we're gonna talk about this today because of his Abraham record. But I'm reading a book as well that I've read when I was really young, Foucault's Pendulum, and watching him really with that book and a couple of other things led to a realization or I don't know, led me to think about something. And it's kind of made me scared in a very, I don't mean to exaggerate, this is doom and gloom, but and made me even hate him far more. And I had already, I think I mentioned on our show that I see some similarities between him and Ali Shariati. I think we can maybe show a picture of him.
Show the gentleman.
Yeah, this is Ali Shariati. Well, yeah, that's a good way. This is Ali Shariati. He was an Iranian ideologue before the Iranian Revolution. Some call him a philosopher, some call him a sociologist. I believe he did philosophy in France. Ali Shariati is considered within the debates on Iranian historiography and all that, considered by liberals especially in the liberal narrative and some leftist narrative, as a crucial figure in the Iranian Revolution, as somebody who provides the ideological he interprets Islam in a way that allows for the revolutionary forces to be mobilized. That's the argument. So he, about the Ashura, the day that, the holy imam of the Shiites dies, and every year self-flagellation and all that. It's the biggest thing in Iran. And he reformulated that in his philosophical works as you should look like every day is a struggle. Every day is a struggle. And this is, by the way, highly rooted in the Iranian sort of mode of thinking, which, by the way, crazy. I'm not. This is not value judgment, but this Manchian or Manichean, whatever view of black and white, every day is a struggle between light and dark. Every day, he famously said, everywhere is Karbala, the place where the Imam dies. Every day is Ashura, the day the Imam dies. So basically, apologies for the noises. So basically saying that, every day you should position yourself in that you're a soldier of the Imam fighting for the righteous and that provided, and I think it's his influence on the revolution is hugely exaggerated. And frankly, time has shown it, because 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you would read about the revolution. He was a much more prominent figure. But almost 10 years after the revolution, he almost disappeared from the revolution historiography, partly because he died before the revolution, and right before the revolution, and therefore, and he was considered sort of a leftist. He's close to, and I think Peterson in many ways is close to them. Those sort of socialist Catholics in South America, or Christian, socialists in America. Shariati's thinking is kind of in line with that.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He's not anti-clergy. That's very important. He's not anti-clergy, but his nonsense, and I gave the charitable and mainstream view to get to the part where I can basically do my own personal rants on the poor man's legacy, on the dead man's legacy, but he deserves it. This piece of shit and his idiotic way of thinking, his mystical, and he even talked about mysticism in a very much not mysteries, in a mystic, in a field, as in Kabbalah, blah blah, all these Gnostic, all this bullshit. So he believed that liberal democracy does not have enough mysticism and spirituality in it, and he believed that Islam. He's been compared to Sayyid Qutb, who, the guy in Egypt, the founder of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Okay.
He's been compared to him, that type of thing. But he was a bit more leftist and more liberal. He was much more of a fancy lad than Sayyid Qutb. He was a good, look at him.
Exactly. I mean, he's with the tie and everything.
He was educated in, I believe he was educated in Paris. Let me just, I'm bringing something up.
And so sorry. So the big street in Tehran, Shariati, is named after him or somebody else?
Yeah. Yes. No. That him. Yeah, that's him. By the way, we don't call it that though. Like people, in Iran, how it is that how each street has like 6 different names. Or so
Shariati's, it's his post-revolution name.
It's post-revolution. It's called Old Street in the slangy sort of pre-revolutionary old. But yeah, he did. Let me see where he went to study.
Sorbonne.
Alma mater, University of Paris. So I don't know if that's necessary Sorbonne or another, one of the colleges. So yeah, this is from I went to find some stuff just from his what you call Wikipedia, just to give give you some. This was good, I think. Some scholars like Elizabeth F. Thompson try to envisage some similarities between Shariati and his role in the Islamic Revolution in Iran with Sayyid Qutb's role in Egypt. One similarity is that both of them paved the way for the imminent revolution in Iran and Egypt. Both desired Islamic cultural dominance. That was a big thing with them. Both were fans of being revolutionary about ruling values and norms. They considered Islamism a third way between those of America and the Soviet Union. At the same time, they were not wholly utopian and they were partly Islamic. Of course, there are differences between them. Shariati was a leftist while Qutb was a conservative. So, and then he had thoughts on Hegel. So, he was familiar with, what's it called?
German idealism.
Yes. And German philosophy, Western philosophy, all of that. Yeah. I think he was frankly, I don't really think he was a grifter. I think he was like Jordan Peterson. I don't think that level you're a grifter, that level you're mad. These are mad prophets. And I don't want to accept, because I'm not like them. I'm not crazy, and I don't think a bunch of marginalized really thinkers that will be, frankly disappear within a decade or so into nothingness, their work themselves, whatever. They are not influential, but the appearance of somebody who's writing just like Shariati is basically nonsense, is stringed together as sort of Shariati is a bit more clear than, I would say, Jordan Peterson. There is another guy, Jalal al-Ahmad. He talks about West-toxification. West-toxification. Have you heard about that?
I know, but I can imagine that the West like influence.
Yeah.
On the East.
So which is almost Jalal al-Ahmad, the person who he's just, he should have been like, I don't know. Anyway, treason would have been too light of a sentence for Jalal al-Ahmad. But he, his writing is exactly Peterson, is unbelievably close to Peterson. West-toxification is exactly what he talks about the woke culture and the trans poisoning the culture, and how many young men now don't have self-esteem because same fucking shit. It's the same material world. And he talks about, by the way, those whose heart have been corrupted by the materialistic world. Guys, these guys, go play with your metaphysics. It's just the fact that there's a kind of Iranian saying, when dirt in the water rises to the surface, it's not a good sign for the quality of the water. And when you see this type of dirt, like Jordan Peterson and Shariati gain so much audience, and now going back to your comment about how come none of his audience are even like, we make a lot, we don't have an audience, we have like 3, but we know a lot of people who have big audiences, but their audiences also disagree with them a lot.
But you go on the Rising and stuff, you see, there's some disagreements, or Katie Halper does something they don't like, or even Glenn does something they don't even like. Maybe Jimmy Dore, he's a bit more immune to that, but this Jordan Peterson one was just, and Jimmy Dore never put anything as bad as
no, come
exactly,
on, this guy
that's
is a charlatan. Come on, this guy is not a charlatan. Charlatan would, again, he doesn't have intentionality, I don't think. But look, man, this is like an early version of a cult.
For sure.
And they are the audience. That's what, going back to the book I'm reading, the Foucault's Pendulum, there is a bit where they're talking about something without giving away too much. It's such a good book, by the way. And it's about conspiracy theories and how they capture people. And one person explains to another that, look, what he's saying is incomprehensible and nonsense. But these people, since childhood, have been told that God, the plan, the great plan that controls everything, the great explanation, is incomprehensible and it's beyond your understanding. The fact that it's beyond your understanding is what makes it metaphysical, is what makes it beyond the reach. Therefore, when they see incomprehension, they don't know what to do with it but to capture it. Therefore, the more nonsense he puts out, the more it makes sense. So
that was a very good point. Very good point.
It made by Umberto Eco, but
okay, all right, Sam. So our next story here is this Guardian story about Macron and Uber lobbying efforts. What's this all about?
I have no idea, and I don't think anybody does. And
you're joking.
Guardian. No, I swear, I on purpose, I have refused to read about this, because Guardian, the way Guardian became big and all that was through WikiLeaks online. Guardian, nobody knew fucking Guardian outside of England. And then suddenly, after the WikiLeaks, suddenly my dad was like, have you checked Guardian today? What's going on? These motherfuckers got big off of Julian Assange, and then they changed their...
Then the Snowden one. That was huge.
they didn't do anything bad to Snowden, but they've done a horrible job, in my view, of covering Assange. Since then, they've contributed possibly even to his downfall. Especially, I would like to emphasize that then the editor changed. Like, I think a year, I don't know what happened. A year after they cut, like when the editor changed, everything changed. I don't know. I think it's the new editor, maybe a female, but I'm not sure. But yeah, she's. I think she's awful. She's awful. And then they did they had the Pandora papers and the Panama boxes and the I don't know, the Cthulhu
and now they have the Uber files.
And then the Infinity Stones, and then the blah and the mother boxes and all that. And like they keep doing the same fucking graphics and the lobbying, the leaks, Uber paid politicians. Really? Oh no. Oh my God, Macron may have helped Uber lobby. Oh, they were offered shares in the stocks, Cameron. Can you believe? Oh, go fuck yourself, you second-rate piece of shit publication that has no guts to follow through with anything. All you can do is tattletale on people. Go for, at least the other publications have the decency to know where they're fed. And I hate Guardian. I fucking where they get their bread buttered, basically, and serve them right, not like a fucking sellout. Just and then every time I go on Guardian, they keep saying you're one of our top readers. Then Luke Harding's fucking picture comes. I am in Ukraine, reporting from the front line. Oh, go fuck yourself, all of you. Just
all right. Well, maybe you should stay away from Guardian for now and then a bit more.
Okay, where that thing? I need to find new publications.
All right, let's go from one annoying story to another annoying story guy. So this, believe it or not, folks, it's Chris Cuomo, sorry. And has he gone independent? Is that the thing? Like he started his own thing?
That's what the Hill said, but I think it's not. I think the deep states have told him, if you want to come back in, you need to pass like a there are challenges, sort of like you have to pass like a. I think this is his sort of trial of death.
Perhaps. So they sent him into Ukraine. Here he has a little message. What is happening right now in Ukraine is bad, and America should be paying a lot more attention.
That's the understatement of.
I went to the Eastern Front. Shelling is intense and devastating. So why so little coverage here? Look at the videos below. They should be all over your screen.
Specifically those videos that I posted, not somebody else, not Ukraine. There are Ukrainian people constantly posting videos, but I needed to go there to make my own videos.
It's such a lame message, whatever this is. Ukraine is bad.
I love the hat.
And America should be paying a lot more attention.
No, the best part is that what's happening in Ukraine is bad. That's like, thank you. Thank you, Chris. I mean,
if it's just only bad, then it's okay. I mean, when it's terrible, bad.
Actually, to be honest, come on, Chris is saying it's just bad.
Bad is like, okay. Is it terrible? Is it concerning? Let me know.
Is it worrisome?
But if it's just bad, okay, I guess there's not much to see.
To be honest, like every other day, the Biden administration describes the war in Yemen as, very, very worrying, very, very unsettling. We don't want this. So, bad is just
bad, I guess.
No, but this guy, man, this Cuomo family, they need to really fuck off. Like, and I don't know. What do you think I think he's gonna make it back though, sadly.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, this is a guy, I just like to clarify, besides, put all the brother shit aside, this is somebody who in front of someone's husband, like semi-assaulted a woman who was his boss, and then wrote an email putting it in written that I've done that and I apologize, and he has still got to keep his job and his face is on whatever New
and
York
what did
Post,
he get what did he get fired for again? Just because of he just got let go because of his brother, or something happened to him specifically?
You can't let go people. Say your brother is he's an unwanted element here. No, he got let go because he helped his brother's team when his brother was being in, like the most bullshit. No, this was conflict of if we knew about this, that can you believe it? He was in contact with his brother, and this is a betrayal of CNN trust, because as we know, CNN is such a,
man, that was a funny moment. The CNN really thought they had something, like, oh shit, it's his brother, he comes on, they talk, they're so chill together on TV, people are loving it.
Italian,
next thing you know,
we are doing Italian stereotypes without, like, nobody can call us out because they're Italians, really.
But then everything went downhill quick.
Yeah, well, this guy, look at it. If you've seen his show, he should have been like a male model or a car salesman. One of those. Oh, he should have been one of those people who stand up in front of like a clothing shop and wear a t-shirt and do this type of thing with so because he's just good looking. That's all he's got. His brother doesn't even have that. But this guy should have been just wearing like.
But that's what CNN. That's what an anchor is. It's mainly about looking good. So.
That's true. Well, some of them, like, at least some of them have a bit of a personality.
Not on CNN. I don't think I've ever heard on CNN someone. Oh yeah, true. I've just never heard any of them like give any insights in anything.
The lady who has the ability to ask you the stupidest questions. Come here. Did you, when you were drinking water, did you think about the children and the families of the children who do not have water? No, I didn't, Christian. Christian Amanpour, the most, like, she makes the stupidest questions sound serious, really.
And she's probably like the most serious or better one or something. I don't even know. They're all such clowns.
Farid Zakaria is probably their most serious guy.
I haven't seen him in a while though.
He's on the international mostly, and he's crap too. So
but okay, all right. Let's keep this going. Okay, got two little articles. So as we speak, I believe right now Joe Biden has landed in Israel. No, he's giving the interviews and everything. Yes, it's yesterday. Sorry.
He's talking and shit, motherfucker. He actually, he said something which Iranian government has said for many years, confirming that. He said, you don't have to be Jewish to be Zionist, which is exactly what the Iranian government has always said. And you don't have to be, if you are Jewish, you don't have to be Zionist. That's the other point. And, a lot of, frankly, every Jew I know is not a Zionist, which is weird. I know Jews that are Zionists, but they're not friends. They're like, I know of them, like friend of a friend.
And I was going to say, I don't know how many so I don't know how big the pool is, and also given.
No, it's relatively big.
Yeah.
Like from
in Iran or the UK?
No, from UK or Iran. I know Iranian ones are old. They're really old.
No, I've never, do I know some? Yeah, of course. In Israel, but if not, otherwise, if you take like globally in the US, they keep on talking about how they're, more and more they're like, or have been liberal, and they don't agree with a lot of the actions of the Israel
But I would have thought, just because most Jewish people, I would assume, like most other people, don't pay attention to politics, like 70% would at least nominally would identify as Zionist, You know what I mean? But I have no idea. But so we had a plethora of stupid articles coming out. One really grabbed my attention because of its title. It's not the one you have on the screen. It's the one I'm gonna just read a bit from now.
Oh, I don't have it right.
Yeah, that's the one you don't have, because we couldn't get the right picture and all that. So this one, somebody wrote. Oh, you brought it up?
Yeah, we have it. Yeah, it's here.
Oh, all right. So this goes first. So somebody actually wrote this headline: Biden should revive the Carter Doctrine for the Middle East. The Carter Doctrine for the Middle East. These people are crazy, right?
And the reason it's funny is because Carter didn't really have a doctrine when it came to the Middle East, right? And
well, that's my view. I don't think Carter had doctrine, or like to think that Carter ever had a thought is even being generous to him. But no, it's the fact that Carter in foreign policy is overwhelmingly viewed as a failure, even though some realists like Kenneth Waltz actually give him some credit for not doing some invasions. But specifically in Middle East, Carter famously came to Iran, had a drink with everybody, gave a speech. There is a video of it, check it out, in which said Iran is an island of peace and tranquility in a region of its instability. He left Iran, and the next day there was a goddamn revolution. Then he sent his national security advisor, Mr. Brzezinski, father of current Mrs. Brzezinski, sent him to Afghanistan to start, let's say, establishing relations and perhaps start supporting certain groups that would later on go on to be led by a certain man from Saudi Arabia named Bin Laden, who would go on to attack certain country named USA. That's the headline.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ. All right. In a new era of superpower conflict, Washington needs to recommit to the region. Recommit to the region? When did you let go? I mean, this is like the most. This is like the most. What do you call those boyfriends or girlfriends that just don't let go of you ever? Like every 20 minutes, call you. Like, please, just go 2 minutes. Just give us some fucking space. During his trip to Israel and Saudi Arabia this week, US Joe Biden will seek to reassure longtime partners that the United States remains committed to the region's stability and security. But the elephant in the room is the fact that almost no one will believe him. All right. The cumulative damage done during more than a decade of presidents from both parties pivoting out of Middle East has been too great. Simply showing up won't be nearly enough to stop the accelerating rot that has taken root in the US-led. Oh, well, the rot is them leaving the Middle East. US-led security, or you suddenly defending the deepest. What's going? What rot? With no corruption. We've done really good this year. We had 3 coups in Africa, 4 in Central Asia. Simply showing up on if Biden truly aspires to break the dynamics of eroding US credibility and deterrence, he'll need to go well beyond photo ops and a happy talk of his recent Washington Post op-ed. By the way, did you see that?
No.
Biden wrote a Washington Post op-ed. He wrote it, by the way. No, he didn't. There was no mention of corn pop, no mention of a segregated swimming pools or buses, no mention of 1997.
They probably had them fight over that. That was probably inputs. They're probably like, sir, we've written this op-ed for you if you want to take a quick look. He's like, where's the pool segregation? Nothing about segregation here, guys. What are we doing?
There's nothing about the colors, people. Where are the colors, people?
guys, come on. Keep up with the times. Yes, Mr. President. We'll make the changes before we send it over to the Washington Post.
Yeah, it won't be easy. The trajectory of U.S. disengagement. Oh, he just said, by the way, that, yeah, the op-ed won't be enough to make them blah, blah, blah. And he says in many respects, the trajectory of U.S. disengagement has in many respects reached this apotheosis. Motherfuckers, they just, I think, put these big words to fuck with me. Apotheosis during Biden's first 17 months in office. The catastrophic retreat from Afghanistan, leaving thousands of the United States allies stranded behind enemy lines, was perhaps Exhibit A, especially for vulnerable Arab regimes that have historically bet much of their security on the power, reliability, and competence of their U.S. superpower patron. By the way, I mean, I have to say he has a point there, no?
At the end, after the Afghanistan thing, that didn't make much sense. But the Arab regimes, yeah.
Well, he said leaving thousands of United States allies, which is, if you count like individually, it is like literally comes to thousands. Like we have 2,000 people that support America in Afghanistan. The rest are all pretty much anti-America. So, you know, and yeah, basically the whole argument is about the fact that, let me get to the fun parts.
Yeah, I don't have the rest.
Yeah, you're making. What do you think so far? Do you think it's good?
No, I mean, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not good either.
No, fair enough. Here, I wanted to find this part because he's now, like, he talks about how Saudi Arabia gave America shit over oil and gas prices, inflation, blah blah, the usual bullshit, which we don't agree with, but for the sake of the argument, let's go with it here. And then now we're looking for solutions, right? We're looking for solutions. How do we get out of this problem?
Rot.
Yeah, rot at the core of the security apparatus. One not entirely obvious place to look for inspiration would be the former US presidency of Jimmy Carter. Oh my God, Jiminy Carter. By the late 1979, following the seizure of American hostages in Iran and the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, US credibility in the Middle East was hemorrhaging. Carter responded in his January 1980 State of the Union address by announcing what became known as the Carter Doctrine. Forgotten by all historians, all the people who were alive then, including Carter. I don't know how this guy remembers, but anyway, Carter Doctrine, a major statement of policy that committed the United States to use of any means necessary, including military force, to repel an outside power from gaining control of the Persian Gulf region. Persian Gulf region, our fucking region. I mean, the fucking arrogance in these people, the fucking arrogance. You have to commit yourself to keep Iran out of the Persian Gulf region. Like it is just like fantastic, isn't it? This is just, I mean, by the way, you can't call it something a doctrine or a major statement of policy that didn't last like even 2 years. Like Carter got kicked out in like 1981. He's kicked out. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
But you didn't mention, and yeah, I mean, it's not surprising given who wrote the article. I mean, it's not even a journalist or reporter. So he was an advisor. He was an advisor to Dick Cheney. John Hanna, senior fellow at the Jewish Institute for National Security of America and a former national security advisor to Vice President Dick Cheney.
Yeah, I should have. I don't know what am I doing with my life that I'm reading this. It's I mean, I'm reading books too. So anyway, today a Biden doctrine would explicitly and unequivocally recommit the United States to use all elements of national power, including force, to defend its vital interest in Middle East, blocking Iran's bid for nuclear weapons capability and engine. And by the way, this is I think. After this, we should talk about Iran. The rhetoric on the United States is being calmed down to Iran wants, now all the Biden administration, they're all saying Iran doesn't want nuclear bomb. It wants the nuclear capability, which was something that almost all the analysts said almost 20 years ago, that Iran doesn't want the bomb, they want the capability. And anyway, now because they know they can't stop them anymore, and there's not going to be a deal, everybody's just adjusting their narrative. So get ready for hearing more nuclear capability instead of nuclear weapons. Emphasize the priority of Iran's bid for nuclear weapons capability and regional hegemony, as well as constraining malign Russian and Chinese penetration of the region. Penetration, that's a very ugly word for sex, I think. A new doctrine should emphasize the priority of strongly supporting the United States' most powerful partners, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and other countries in the Arab world, to forge a new US-led alliance system to jointly counter shared threats. So, and then he goes on, but don't hold your breath. There is still little reason to believe that they're going to do it. And he said he blames it on Biden, but it's not Biden, my motherfucker. It's the changing geopolitics. It's the fact that US doesn't need Saudi Arabian energy, or it's becoming energy-wise. It's thinking maybe it needs to become independent to kick Chinese off, kick them not off, kick them kick them somehow, I guess. But so yeah. So that was one very stupid article.
Yeah.
Then we had the other one, which is also fantastic.
It's time to rethink the US-Saudi relationship. For too long, Washington has sacrificed its principles to appease the kingdom and gotten almost nothing in return.
Oh,
just doing it for fun.
Yeah, they're doing it for fun. And are you guys upset? Is inflation hitting 9%? Is that very tough for you? Oh, poor American people, they're getting nothing in return. Go fuck yourself. Like, people all around the world are dying because America is sanctioning fucking grains, and they're not allowing the grains to go through the fucking Turkish ports or whatever. And then they should demand more. I mean, again, like, if this was, by the way, if this was somebody from within the deep state saying that, guys, recently we've not been doing enough, we should put more pressure on the Saudis, we should demand more. These are the people who pretend they give a shit about, national sovereignty, and that those people are cynical enough not to ever give a shit about any of that. So I mean, this one mostly was just the title.
But yeah, I know this one's all about like the human rights. I mean, this trip is going to be worth it, the United States needs Saudi Arabia to make real commitments to improve its human rights record, provide justice for political dissenters and their families, and end the war in Yemen.
Oh, really?
Hey, I guess I'm gonna share the sentiment, although you make it seem like these are all things that the US doesn't want to do and doesn't do, and are things that it does not participate in,
or doesn't care. But this, I don't like. Yeah. Again, like, even if US could, first of all, US can't do all of that. Like, that's just ridiculous. I mean, maybe long term, like with 10 years of planning, they could, but I don't know. Secondly, what do you think? Do you think Biden and the rest of the cabinet, guys, what's happening? Oh, the children in Yemen. I saw a video today on my TikTok. It was so sad. Should we pressure what is the profit margin of if we get the grains like sanctioned tomorrow instead of yesterday? What do you think? We would have made more money or less money? What do you think, Kamala? Kamala, what are you doing? Oh, sorry, I'm just lobbying for my husband's hedge fund with someone. Like, that's what they do. Like, this is not. Anyway, this is like, he's gonna go over there and.
But this article was by a senator, by the way.
Oh, okay. Then.
Senator from Connecticut.
Why are you wasting your time writing like our op-eds or stuff for foreign policy? Like, who's in state elections is gonna read a foreign policy analysis?
That's a good point, unless it's for some other kind of job. But yeah.
I understand, John Hanna doing it because he might want to get another job within the administration or whatever. But this guy, I mean, unless he's very weird article. Anyway.
But anything else on the Biden trip to the Middle East? Are you gonna see him?
Yes, we are planning to meet.
Tell him about Jordan Peterson's plan. None of these articles talk about Jordan Peterson's plan, though. I mean, I think Jordan Peterson
pen paling plan.
It's just the technology. If only Peterson is just waiting for it. If just the technology, he'll figure out the Middle East.
My plan is I don't know if you know this, but Biden came to Saudi Arabia. He's taking a camel caravan. He's taking the camel caravan to go to go to Israel. In Israel, he will sit with the high member of the Jews.
Especially.
And I am hoping to catch him, when he's going to Jordan again with the camels. I am doing with the horses, with the Arab horses. I am riding there. So when I reach there, I'll try to. I have a scroll sealed with the blood of a sheep. I will deliver that to him, and that will be the beginning of my pen paling with a man from a different generation. Not a different generation, frankly, from a different century and a different faith. So, hopefully we shall start doing it. But by the way, I was thinking, it just gave me a great idea though. Like, let's do something. We record a couple of segments, right? Technically I'm a Muslim and Shia and stuff. And aren't you technically a Christian or something?
Lutheran, yeah.
Yeah, you're taking.
But also Shia.
No, but don't mention that, okay? Right? Mention the Lutheran shit, right? Or Christian. We go with Christian. We do a segment here, like, like do this. We email Jordan Peterson with that segment saying that this is the beginning of the thing.
Do you think he
contact...
can be? Oh man, do you think he can be pranked?
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
But he has a team, though. He has a team.
His daughter, his daughter is. I think she's the censor that is gonna, catch us. But we could definitely do that, though. Try to. This is the promote us. Like, come on, we are fostering. Not even. This is like more than Shia Sunni. This is Islam, Christianity. Come on.
Well, he did say that. He's like, first he wants to see between Shias and Sunnis. Then he wants to see with Christians, and then he said, then even
maybe Jews, maybe Jews.
Man, that was the most childish take on Middle East. That it resembled some of Cenk's tweets. Cenk sometimes has tweets like that too. Like
exactly.
Suddenly,
from 1990s liberal. Exactly.
I'm like, Cenk, I don't think too highly of you, but I'm pretty sure I've heard you say better stuff than that.
Oh, do you remember Borat guy Sacha Baron Cohen did one called Bruno, and one of the best jokes he had, I think it was the best joke in the whole Bruno thing. He had an Israeli guy and a Palestinian guy, and he was like, this is they were talking about hummus, and he said, hummus, and there is this big fight between Arabs and Israelis over who invented hummus first, and he started disparaging hummus, like saying hummus is very bad, and they say no, hummus is very good, it's very high in protein, it's very good for you. And then the Israeli guy also was like, no, so hummus is very good for you, it's very nice, it's very for the stomach. And then he was like, see, we are already building bridges. This is the level of thinking we are. Like we both like hummus, right?
Jordan Peterson then probably saw Bruno. No, if he sees Bruno now again, he'll make a 30-minute video about how it's like ruining society.
Oh, yeah. Bruno, as far as that would be like, he sees that and he'll be like, this is the work of Antichrist. Like, this is oh man, I can't believe Bruno was kind of ahead of its time in many ways. Like Bruno
I can't believe it.
No, because Bruno at the time of its release was not as, I think, as outrageous that now it would be now received, I think, because of the whole trans stuff.
Yeah. All right, Sam, let's move on to our last two stories. So we have Sri Lanka and then a little update from the UK about, the front runners to be the new prime minister of the UK. But yeah, Sri Lanka, I love this picture, so I decided to go. This is my favorite bit. This pool looks so good and refreshing. I don't know what it is. And not too many people in it.
South Asia.
Yeah, it looks much better than Vegas pool when there's like 500 guys in it with girls.
Yeah, but
there's a good amount.
Within the next 20 minutes, all the people you see surrounding the pool do.
This guy's looking good here too. At least in this photo, his chest sticking out. Looks like looks and I what did you?
But let's do a Joe Rogan. Jimmy, can you zoom in? Can you, Jamie, zoom in. I think he's been doing, these push-ups that, you put slightly above. That way the muscle on your nipple, on your right nipple, it just goes when you're doing push-ups, and it really stands out. Yeah.
And once they're done with these protests, I really suggest they should consider sleeping in one of those tube chambers or whatever they're called. I forgot the name.
The presidential residence?
No. One of his, the thing that Joe Rogan's obsessed with.
The deprivation tank, sensory tank. I don't know. The vacuum, whatever.
But man, I love the way, and they seem like they're treating the compounds and everything very nicely as well. And they're it's not too bad.
After they ransacked it, man.
It doesn't look like it's getting destroyed.
No, the building not, but they took it was so fun. After they took everything, now people are all politely queuing and going through the building. It's after everything was.
And I was watching Al Jazeera and stuff, and it's so funny because it's good in Sri Lanka. Like most people speak English, so they just like grab random people. And
everybody's like, fuck
that. But I love the president, prime minister. First, they went and hid, like, in the ocean, pretty much on like Sri Lankan shores. But then he was like, okay, no, even it's not safe out here. They might, swim over and get me. So let me just leave.
He ran away. Well, he tried to run away through a passenger flight.
Okay.
They didn't let him.
Oh, really?
Then he took apparently he ran away with a military airplane.
No, it was my understanding for like a day or two, he was just on Navy, on like Sri Lankan Navy, just on the shores of Sri Lanka, like Sri Lankan shores.
That may have been on the
because then he went to Maldives.
Base that he went to.
Yeah, the naval base.
That's the thing. I'm not sure. Did he never, it seems he never went to Maldives, because this is just from now. This is from 17 minutes ago, Al Jazeera. Flight believed to be carrying Rajapaksa lands in Singapore. So, So I don't know if he ever, but this is Saudi airline. So I think maybe he went to Maldives with a military jet. I think, I'm pretty sure.
I see. But his final destination is Dubai anyway, right? So
that's what they think it is, but who knows?
Where is Dubai keeping all these people? They've started a new business.
Yeah, man.
Now.
I was thinking they should start a podcast, Ashraf Ghani and Rajapaksa, like about corruption in Asia, like inside look. I swear to God, that's like the best. They should start a YouTube channel. I'll subscribe to it for sure. I
thought you were going to say something different. I was going to say they should really have like a dedicated hotel, which is like / museum. So like during certain hours, you can go see like previous world leaders.
The animal you can see here is a rare kind of Afghani warlord. These warlords does not even have the balls to carry out the corruption.
Now, on the second floor, this is our Sri Lankan theme floor. It's like this until the end of February, so make sure you come and see a visit, because after that we're changing.
The Sri Lankan dictator famously takes his summer naps during the 3 months. You will not be able to communicate. No,
but seriously, they're starting to develop quite a portfolio.
I would love it if there is a dictator anonymous or something group for ex-dictators. They go there and, hello, I am Rajapaksa. I've been, me and my family have been, it's been a family thing, for me. My father drank. My father was corrupt, so I am corrupt. But Ashraf Ghani is like, man, you don't know. It was all me. I did it myself.
But Ashraf Ghani must be happy though. He was the only one there. He's like, oh, finally. Friends to play with. He's been playing pool by himself in the lobby this whole time.
Isn't Ben Ali's in Saudi Arabia? So I'm sure Ben Ali visit the Tunisian one. He visits them all the time.
Yeah, maybe. But the Saudis seem a bit harsher though. They seem like they lock you in your room. I think in Dubai you get to hang out in the hotel, go down. The Saudis, they're extreme. They're like, the Saudis, they put you in a room, lock you out. It's like, whoa, I'm not going anywhere. Can I go on the balcony at least? No, they put those child locks on the balcony.
They put a cheese and bread in the room and close the door quickly.
But the Dubai one, they probably start throwing parties in that hotel, like Thursday nights, former like dictator nights. But you have to dress as a different dictator. You can't come as yourself. They won't let you in.
And everybody dresses as Gaddafi because he's the coolest.
He was an idol of mine.
He was the idol of all of us, truly. But Hunter, I bet to Hunter Biden's rehab.
He's out there.
It's very, it's like it's gonna, like Ashraf Ghani is going on a water pool right now, a water slide. It's just fantastic. I'm trying to think of what other there's a lot of Afghani warlords besides Ashraf Ghani.
Yeah,
So I bet Ashraf Ghani and his gang can bully other dictators because he has like guys with him, you know. The other ones like their family or one guy. It's like whole there's 3 Afghan warlords. What the fuck you?
They haven't seen combat since the 70s. But they're ready.
Okay, there's a banana on the floor. Oh, okay, we are done, guys. Let's retreat. This is the army that got defeated by.
So they probably have like
Taliban.
food fights in the hotel or something.
Yeah. And they all get defeated because they are all trained by the US military. Everybody retreats. But yeah, so yeah, he's on the run. But the latest is that the former prime minister is now taking over the presidency. Yeah. And the prime minister is an ally of the president, so people are like, for the and the president, from what I understand, he officially hasn't even resigned yet because he's worried about the fact that before he gets to UAE, one country or the other might start, because if you like, you can suddenly go Interpol. Like suddenly, I think British did that with Pinochet, didn't they? Suddenly they went, suddenly we care about international law. Pinochet is there. What a bad man. We don't like him. So yeah, they could do that with him.
And I mean, we talked last time a bit, what's going on in Sri Lanka. You gave a nice host of different things, and you didn't just limited to
one family fucking the whole, like it's honestly the biggest thing is 40 years of corruption. Anybody that, including like anybody who says the tax cuts, the chemical things were like, it's been 30 years of, it's kind of reminds me of COVID in a way, that when people can you hear me?
Yeah. No, I'm listening. Yeah,
for a second I thought like
no.
In COVID, like people like when you have such a weak infrastructure, then of course then there is 2 crises and this happens. I mean, of course the crises are the last straw that breaks the camel's back, but for the last 30-40 years this is one of the Sri Lanka is a similar case to many other tax havens, much like Dubai, that it's a place where people with huge amounts of money park their money, or but nothing stays there, nothing trickles down. So that's what happens in the end.
Okay. Anything else here on Sri Lanka?
No, but I hope people the biggest thing people are dealing with right now is fuel shortage. So people can't get to hospitals, and food shortage, like pregnant women don't have food and stuff. So I hope they fucking do something, and I hope this prime minister goes as well, because I cannot see how. I cannot see how he's any better than the rest of them. And IMF, by the way, is playing fucking footsie now with, we just hope there is a stable go. We just want to restart the negotiations, motherfuckers. Like that. They are even worse than the Rajapaksa family, whatever the fuck they are. But the IMF people, like, god damn them, really, truly, god damn. I hope even for their interest's sake or something, China, IMF, whoever, just gives them a blank check for now, just to sort some issues. That's my hope. But
I agree with you there. And finally, let's move on to the real circus.
Finally, and the best, oh my god, we're gonna do so many special videos on this. No, we are not, but it's gonna. So the conservative leadership elections have been launched, and the first round actually finished off.
And what is the first round? It was the first round of what? Like in Parliament, they voted a first round. Yeah.
So in the Conservative Party, unlike the Labour Party, is extremely democratic actually, and it's so fascinating. It's kind of like with religious cults, you see that with like Mormons type thing, or with political parties that are extremely conservative, but internally, like Republican Party, far more democratic than Democratic Party in America.
Hey, that's a very good point. I mean, if you think about it, the primaries, they don't rig the primaries.
I'm not joking.
Like the primaries, they don't rig it the same way that the Democrats rig their own primaries. They're at least half fair to their own like people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
Same,
that was
same is true with conservatives. So for conservatives, the threshold to become a candidate is very low to become a candidate, right? But then what happens is that parliamentary party, not the members, not all the members, just the people in the parliament, they get to vote until it's until two are left, basically. Yeah, there's different thresholds at different levels according to how many candidates there are and how many members of the parliament there are. That all changes each time, right? So so then every time you have a threshold and you go to the next round. So for example, they just had the first round and 2 people got eliminated
from out of 8, right? Something like that.
Out of 8 more people, I think. The big 2 that got eliminated was the one that I liked. I talked about Nadim Zawahi. Zawahi, and then we got Jeremy Hunt. Jeremy Hunt, who's very much David Cameron type, trying like, I'm not a man. I'm truly, to be honest, I'm a PR really creation. I'm really a print of a man, to be honest. I was made in a 3D printer, to be completely honest. Jeremy Hunt is just he genuinely looks like a Wallace and Gromit character, like one of those claymation types, like just anyway. So Jeremy Hunt and Nadim Zawahi, they got kicked out, and Nadim Zawahi, that was disappointment because I think that he had the right character, but it turned out that there's an interview with him. I hope I can have time to do a sketch of it for tomorrow or something. There's this great interview with him, and they ask him about there's this lady who's like the prosecutor in general or something, and she has like this thing in front of her. So can you confirm not you or your family are benefiting from a non-resident status, so like tax benefits and stuff? And then he's like, yes, I definitely am not, and my wife is definitely not, and then my parents, they live in a different country, so they live in a different country. And then she's like, every time she asks your family, and every time he answers, like there's 4 questions, and every time he answers, yes, I can confirm me and my wife. Yes, I can confirm me and my wife. Like, it's so highly specific that it's like, okay, I think his cousins are all right? His cousins are all co-keepers, right? That's the vibe you're getting. That it's so bad. So he got eliminated, and Jeremy Hunt got eliminated. Surprisingly to me, from the people who've Rishi Sunak, surprising.
He's leading, right?
Yeah, when his star was on a rise about 6-7 months ago, I was very suspicious. And then when he had a downfall because
with the Ukraine thing.
Mostly his downfall was because his wife and him turned out his wife had an American passport or something. Some bullshit like
and shares in Russian companies or something.
Oh, yeah, shares in a Russian company. Right, you're right. Yeah. You're right. His wife is one of their family is one of those super rich Indian families. They own like everything, like communication service, something like that. Anyway. I saw, and I'm still very like people like him. He's very David Cameron-y, George Osborne is better than him. He's very David Cameron-y, Nick Clegg type of. We have to be responsible, guys. I like Boris Johnson. I mean, his speech launching his campaign was just so fun. It was like, look, Boris was not a god. He was not somebody beyond criticism, but he's somebody who I admire greatly. And, he's trying to make up for, stabbing him in the back like 5 times with a knife. So now he's trying to court the Boris Johnson supporters. So he launched this campaign and he's ahead. And I really would hate it if he wins. But, with him, other people who got kicked out. One of them was Priti Patel. Do you remember her, the secretary, one who made the decision about Julian Assange?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's very hardcore. She's like security. She's also of Indian background. And she put out a video that many people, her campaign, according to Channel 4, put out a video that was an attack on Rishi Sunak, which was, according to my sources, And I cannot confirm this for sure, but according to my sources, this was the first brown on brown attack in the British political at that level. It was the first Priti Patel attacking Rishi Sunak. But then Sajid Javid got kicked out. He was another one who was really looking forward to bringing, I'm, doing this thing of I'm brown, but I'm also conservative thing. And man, he launched his campaign. And he was sweating like a motherfucker. And he's bald and all that. So all the lights are there. And he was like, yes. And then we need to bring back honor and credibility to Jesus Christ. And then he was just dying. So it's a true circus.
Yeah.
But Rishi Sunak so far is ahead. Then we got Penny Mordaunt or Penny Moriarty. Let's call her Penny Moriarty.
Mordaunt. I would call her Mordaunt.
No, she's a scion of the Moriarty family, the big enemy of Sherlock Holmes. She's she comes from a long. I mean, Moriarty was a smart. She's not, but Mordaunt. I think you're right. She's very interesting. She launched her campaign with an ad. The ad immediately was needed to be taken down and edited because it included it was one of those edits that includes like a British flag, then a British person drinking tea and a scones, then you have somebody with fish and chips like mate, like any British stereo, somebody in Cornwall surfing like that, and then you had that advert, and in that there was a image of one of the British athletes in Olympics winning runnings competition, and then the athlete immediately came out and said, I'm not involved with any of these motherfuckers. Don't associate myself.
Oh, hold on. So now
guess who else was in that same video of the runner? And that was fascinating.
No idea.
Oscar Pistorius. It was British guy. It was
I thought he
the
was
British
South
guy.
African.
I know, but it was the British guy like doing a handshake with the Oscar, and these idiots, they picked that one video that he's handshaking a known criminal. His wife for
right. That's what was found, right? He murdered.
Yeah, he was convicted. So
Jesus Christ. Man.
So they had to edit it immediately. Then there were a couple of other things. I think they included MPs that didn't want to be included or something like that.
How can you be this dumb? And I have a question. Hold on. So at the end, the Conservatives are going to pick someone to be their leader, and then they're going to have general elections in the fall as well.
No. The general elections is going to be whenever Prime Minister calls it. No, there are going to be 2 members left after the parliamentary people. There's 2 left. Then members of the Conservative Party.
Okay.
All the members, like all the 50,000 members, whatever 1,000 members, they vote on the final choice, so kind of like the American, now that's the final stage. And then if depending on, I don't know, I think I think whenever, I mean, the Prime Minister can call the election anytime, but I think they still have 2 years. They don't have to call, they have to call the election within 5 years of the parliament forming. So I don't think they have to call it by fall. But
okay, so unless people start asking for it a lot and all that, and then they feel like, unless
depends
there are
on the
doubts over the legitimacy.
If the backbenchers, there is a So then
and who else? We got 2 more folks here too.
We got Liz Truss here. Liz Truss is she's the cheese lady. We've talked about her quite a few times.
I remember.
We have to defend British cheese. I still cannot believe she became a fucking foreign secretary. She was a foreign secretary, and she is, I guess, acting anyway. But now she's one of the top 4, and she's seen as a candidate much closer to Brexiteers. Jacob Rees-Mogg, Nadine Dorries, all the crazies have she's the Brexit crazy part. All of them are Brexiteers now, but she's like the psycho, like maybe British cheese should take over French cheese, and you're like, cheese don't fight, like, anyway. But she's Nadine Dorries, Jacob Rees-Mogg, a couple of other complete psychos are on her side. But I must say, they were interviewing psychos. They were quite honest about the fact that she's a non-entity, but we think we can control her. But Rishi Sunak, we believe, is somebody who's been at the treasury for too long. So he's been captured. again, like conservatives are so much more realistic about their own candidates. You never hear, like, even lefty Bernie people don't talk about Bernie and stuff. Bernie is nice a bit, you know what I mean? Like, nobody talks in these terms. They're like, Rishi Sunak is more captured by the treasury, like, because he's hanging out with top civil servants for a long time, but she's somebody, who's on our side. The basic, even though she was a Remainer, by the way, before the vote happened. So, and then I'll come back to that later. And then we have a couple of more. We have a lady who's a black Tory, but she's the hard Brexit. She's the full Brexit, and she's support Kemi Backendale, Kemi something. Here. What is it, Kemi?
Badenoch. That's a hard one.
Yeah. Yes, she's been she's was a surprising win. She had a surprising. She's not top 4, I don't think, but she made it through surprisingly because she has had no ministerial roles or no experiences like that. They keep saying she has no experience and stuff. But she's going hard.
But a lot of women, though. Stuff. This is good for Sunak. Sorry to cut you off.
Well, maybe, but just she's going big on the culture wars and stuff. She's doing a whole trans stuff, and on her campaign and stuff, they're going men, women, like putting double signs on bathrooms or something. So she's doing that campaign. Then you have Tom Tugendhat, who I have no idea why he's running. He's a man who could have been the leader of conservatives maybe in 1970s, but now he's got one of those. He's got his over chin, his under chin. Sorry, has his own personality, and the under chin does not let him talk. So he has to go. Yeah, we need a conservative party that is truly goes back to its old roots, and the good old thing, low taxes and honor. And I know I'm a backbencher. I know I have no experience, but Tom Tugendhat is running for some reason. I mean, history has shown there is no reason, like, it's not bad to run anymore. Like back in days it was bad to run. Now you just, what's the worst? You sell a book. So there is somebody else, I forget who. I think somebody else has also made it, but not important.
But then Rishi Sunak is leading after
but a lot of people are, I mean, if you want, you can ask me who do I support or who do I think.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite, or who do I think will win?
Who do you think can lead the UK out of this rot?
Oh, not any of these bozos for sure. Jeremy Corbyn, but who gives a shit? I think Rishi Sunak at the moment has the best chance, to be honest, sadly, because I was surprised by how quickly some of the, like, Grand Chaps is one fucking like one of those people who proves the fact that the intelligence is not really a useful survival trait. Like, less intelligence and more knavish you are, the more likely you survive. And Grand Chaps is sticking with him. So, he used to write business self-help books under a pseudonym, and now anyway. So I think he has the best chance. But my favorite is Penny Moriarty. Penny Moriarty is my favorite. One reason is, when I was at LSE, we used to do, LSE had a program. You did an internship at the MP's office, and we could apply for an internship at the MP's office, like usually a rookie MP, so first year or something. And I applied. I didn't get it, but one of my classmates was an intern for her. So if that classmate remembers my name, I don't remember her name, but if she remembers my name and stuff, so I got a connection there. So and she's, I mean, look at these people. She's the best looking by far, right?
I mean, he's also good looking chap.
No, you kidding, right?
What? Of course, he's very good looking face.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Man, come on, he's not good. He's the most nerdy. This is ridiculous. Come on.
No,
he's not good looking. He's the nerd. He looks like fucking like somebody you bully at high school.
Well, I mean, you can still. I mean, that
Can still
person
be
can
bullied
end up
and
becoming
attractive.
good looking. Can become good looking
End
later
up.
on.
He hasn't ended up. He has ended up where he was when he was 12.
I think style. I like his hair
I'm
too.
very, okay.
I need to try to go with the same hairstyle.
As you say, Teto, I am sorry, Teto. Teto. But I think I rather I mean, between these, like, look at Liz Truss, look at him, look at Tom. Oh, Tom, no, don't look at Tom Tugendhat. You might lose your eyesight. So, you know, whatever. I'm just saying. So based on my analysis, if there is any conservatives or Tories listening, vote Penny.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. Anything else? Is this something you wanted to talk about or mention, or no?
Let's leave that for tomorrow.
We'll do that tomorrow. We'll do in progressive world.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, perfect. Let me go back to this one now. All right. Well, perfect. Folks, please leave your comments, question, criticism down below. We'll make sure to get to them. If not, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video. Thank you.